So test and go. Before you come here, that's the thing right now. It'll change later in a month or two, but until then, I've been hearing a lot of different rates and prices, and I've pretty much got sticker shock every time I hear one, some more so than others. But I thought, well, let's dissect that. Let's take those apart, do a deep dive, and see what you really get for that, and maybe it's not so bad. And that's what I found out. Well, kind of, you'll see. There are some values out there. There are also some that maybe not so much. Fast food, to wit, there's a McDonald's across the street. If you buy a hamburger, a French fry, and a Coke, all individually, generally the price is a little bit higher than if you buy the package or the meal deal, or the Happy Meal, or the whatever it is. The meal deal rewards you for buying the 3 items all at once, and generally there's a small savings involved. Here's the thing, it's never going to be more money. You should expect, you have the expectation of saving a little bit because you're buying a package or a meal deal in that case. So same thing with the test and go. You're buying 4 items. I'll go over those 4 items, what they are, and then we'll go and get all the prices for those. I'll take you with me and we'll actually go look at these. But the 4 items very quickly. The first thing you need is your taxi from the airport to Pathia. You're going to need that regardless. We'll see what that costs, and that's part of the package. That's number 1. Number 2 is a PCR test. That's required on your first day here. You're required to get the PCR test and then await the results of that in your room. The results could take 6 hours, could take 12 hours, but under 24. So that's a thing. How much is a PCR test? Where do you get one? What's the value on one of those? We'll explore that. Number 3, the big thing is actually the hotel room. You need that hotel room to kind of camp out in until you get your PCR test results back, or until they're available, I should say. So your hotel room, your hotel accommodation, and they're going to vary just like any hotel price would vary. A cheap hotel versus a 5-star resort. So we'll explore that, and that's where I think some of the differential will come in. So bear with me on that. And the 4th thing rather, is 4 items. It's just a very small item. It's the ATK self-test kit. You'll need to perform that on your 5th day. They give you that at the hotel. I already know what they cost. You can get them at pharmacies. They cost 49 baht. We're just going to round that up and say it's 50 baht. It's a 50 baht item. They're going to give you that. Okay? So let's start with the first item up for bids, transportation. Let's see how much that costs. And then we'll add all these up and you can determine if it's a value or a ripoff. Hey folks, and welcome back to Pattaya Test and Go. We're on the Test and Go website. You'll notice here they have all the major entry points for the country. We are going to concentrate on Pattaya though for this little test we're doing, and there are 139 available packages. The packages are all listed here very, very clearly. They're organized by the different hotels because the hotel, as I said, is the big differentiator. So we will refer back to this website. I will link it in the description below. As we get the prices, the street values of all the different pieces of the package, we'll refer back here and then compare it to the package price. So the first item on the list is transportation. You're going to need that. There are taxi stands all over Pattaya. I've showed you taxis before, but let's just get a fresh price today. Taxi by Savannah Boom. So yeah, this guy's at 1,200 baht. Now, that might not be the cheapest one. In fact, I'll take you to another one. We'll just get another quick sampling. But there is a little bit more to the transportation than normal times. I'll explain that. But this is another good option right here. This is at the end of Soi Buakhao by Pathia Klang. So I've showed you this before, but right at the end of Soi Buakhao at Pathia Klang is a taxi stand. They're 1,000 baht to Savannah Boom. I tell you what though, they do have to make that extra stop at the PCR test that we're going to get to next. And in fairness, they are a little bit they're playing police a little bit because they have to enforce the rules. They will not stop at like a 7-Eleven or anywhere. You know, normally that wouldn't be an issue. Say, hey, can you stop at 7-Eleven for a minute? I want to get this or that. They will not stop. They kind of have to enforce that and be the bad guy. Let's go with the 1,200. The one guy said 1,200. I think that's going to be fair. Here again, erring on the side of being high rather than being low. So right, part number 1, transportation complete. We're going to register 1,200 baht for the cost of that. Let's go to part 2. The second item up for bids, the dreaded PCR test. So they recently changed this. You only need one your first day. The 5th day now is an ATK test, not a PCR test, but you still need that one. And how much does that cost? So that depends where you go and who you ask. First of all, the public hospitals I contacted too, Pattaya City Hospital in Soy Buakhao and Pathia Memorial off of Klang. Neither one of those would offer a PCR test. Now they may be in partnership and they may be doing them for themselves, but not for the public. But this one behind me is a private hospital. It's called the Bangkok Pathia Hospital, private hospital. They will do it. You can come here and get one. 1,900 baht, 1,900 baht. I don't know, about $60. They guarantee the results before 24 hours. So generally it's probably more like 12 hours. But that's where you can get one. Now this is important for two reasons. One, to kind of set a precedent, what is that part of the package worth? And two, you may be required to do a PCR test before you leave, a day before you leave, to get back into your home country. You don't need to get one in terms of Thailand standards to leave, but like for example, I have a friend going back to the US, he needs one a day before he can go and fly back to the US. So if that's the case, this is the cheapest alternative I found in town. North Pathia, right on Sukhumvit Road, Bangkok Pathia Hospital. So we're gonna look at another one though, because in fairness, I think there's enough wiggle room in these PCR test prices, and I want to err on the side of a high price instead of err on the side of a low price. So we're going to go and show you where it's much more convenient to get one, maybe the better option to get one, but it's going to cost a little bit more right here. So this place right here, we're on 3rd Road in Pathia Klang, right at the intersection, but just up maybe, I don't know, 30 meters so. It's a laboratory here. I'll show you the sign, show you their phone number. This laboratory may just be a collection point. They may actually be sending the test to one of the hospitals, but they charge 2,500 baht. I think normally that's kind of the going rate in town. If you go directly to the hospital, it might be a little less convenient, but you might get that lower rate. But 2,500 baht, I think, is a fair value for the test here, given that these laboratories, that's what they're charging. Like I said, they may make money on top of sending it to a hospital. But I think just to establish a base point, a fair base point, let's go with 2,500. 2,500 baht, that's about $75 US for the PCR test. So that's 2 down. Next to the hotels, that'll be where the big money is. So we've looked at the other ingredients, the other parts of this package, the ATK test, the PCR test, the taxi ride. The hotel is your biggest variable, and that's where we'll take the deepest dive. I'm going to show you 3. We're going to start here. Very common hotel, very popular, I should say, not common, very popular hotel for the Pattaya area. I've met many people who'd like to stay here, normal times or otherwise. But it's called the Hotel Amber. Hotel Amber. It's on a small Soy 21, but it runs right between Soy Buakhao and 3rd Road. It's a very decent location, very nice hotel, good reputation, swimming pool, parking garage. It's very nice. Generally somewhere around 1,000 baht a night right now. So I'll give you the numbers. With everything we've looked at so far, the taxi ride, the PCR test, even a little ATK test, that totals up to 3,750. 3,750. This hotel for the night was 1046. So with the 3,750 added to the 1046, that comes up to 4,796, 4,796. Now, how much is the package? Well, let's take a look. Oh, it's hot and steamy out here today. Sorry about that. The package is 4,650. So that's a saving, and not a lot of savings, but if you were to buy these all individually, all the pieces individually, it would cost you more than the package. That's what we're looking for. So regardless of how much of a savings, even if it's only 100 baht or so, it's still a value because you couldn't buy the pieces individually for that rate. So Hotel Amber here, the package that's online for that, including everything you need to enter, good value. Let's go see another one. So our second property, I chose one right on Beach Road, the infamous Holiday Inn. Great location, beautiful property. Of course, this is going to be priced higher. It's a big, I think it's 4.5 or 5-star property, and it's right, water views right on the beach. So Holiday Inn, we're still at 3,750 for the taxi ride, PCR test, ATK test, all of that, 3,750 plus the hotel booked on Agoda is 3,409. That's the exact same kind of room, the ocean view room. Let's look at the package. Let's add that up first. So if we add that all up, the 3,750 plus the room, Grand total of 7,159 baht, 71.59. So let's look and see how much a package costs. We should be saving a little bit of money, hopefully, right? Or not. 9,300 baht. So over 2,000 baht more. The package costs 2,000 baht more than all of the parts, the individual parts of it, if purchased separately. So, is that a value? You decide, let me know. So you can see how there are some differences in these. And I think taking apart the puzzle of the pieces and seeing what each one costs individually helps shine a light on that. So, we've got another one. We've got one more to do, a special one. Let's go do that. So this hotel is a little bit different. It's no different in the fact it's a normal hotel. We're at the Sunshine Garden Resort. But it's different to the fact that my buddy Thailand Phil apparently has booked his Thailand pass, and this is what he's chosen. So he asked me to stop by and put eyes on the place. I'd never been here. It's a nice little place. I'll show you around. But let's go through the numbers. Oh, before we go through the numbers, I will say this is a very convenient property for one reason. I talked about how the taxi had to make that stop somewhere at a collection point. Not here. You'll go right from the airport to here. I'll show you there's a table in here set up right in the lobby. You'll do your test right there. You'll check in. You'll do your test. You go straight up to the room. I think that's more convenient. I had a friend that said they drove him down some dark alley in the middle of the night and there was a table on the sidewalk. It felt a little derpy. I think this is just a little bit added security, and you don't have to make a stop. You're going to get here quicker. So anyway, let's go through the numbers. This hotel room, 1,370 baht on Agoda today. I booked all of these for the same day, which was April 1st. I just picked a random day and I did random hotels, except for this one because my buddy Phil wanted to know. But 1,370 for the room. So that brings the grand total up to 5,120. But guess what? Let's check the website. The package is only 4,500 baht. You're actually saving over 600 baht on the package as opposed to all the four pieces purchased separately. So that is a very good deal. I think it's definitely a value. And the place looks nice. They got a pool. The staff was welcoming. You know, it's in the shadow of the great big new Centaura Hotel. I'll swing around and show you. But it kind of looks like a spaceship up top. Look at that guy. It's really coming along. I featured this a couple times in all the new hotels being built, the new resorts being built. That's one of them I just happened to see. It's really coming along. It's really starting to look like something. So from up there, you'll be able to look down and see Phil at the pool. So there you go. Now, just because I get an Agoda price here online, and by the way, I didn't even log in, so there's no VIP discount or anything. Depending what part of the world you're in, you will get different prices. So some of these that here may not appear to be a value. Where you are, it could be a value depending on the price you get on Agoda or whatever booking site you tend to use. But the site that I'm using here that shows the package costs, that's the same, I think, no matter where you are. You can book right on there. So I just use Agoda because I needed some kind of base to test this and see, once we added everything up, what are we left with? Are we left with paying more or less than the price per individual piece? So I think we got some values in there. So I hope that helps somebody. It is a little bit expensive your first day. The way I would look at it is this: you need the taxi anyway, but the 2,500 baht PCR test, that's the only differentiator. It's about $75. So I think it's fair to say it cost you about $75 more US, or about 2,500 Thai baht more to come here right now. than under normal times. So that's that.
I don't know Facebook. What I have in the Facebook.
So with many people coming back and taking advantage of the various Test and Go packages, many people have reached out to me and said, hey, we want to rent motorbikes, and we remember you featuring a guy before on Beach Road somewhere. Where is he? How can we get in touch with him? Well, he's right here on Soy 9 and Beach Road. His name's Mr. Dean. He'll give you his number. Okay, see?
081-945-8112.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So there you go. You can look that number up on WhatsApp and contact him through the WhatsApp app. But he is still in business and has more inventory than ever. But anyway, there's a little bit about Test and Go and how that might apply to your next trip here. But for this episode, gotta leave it off right here. And as usual, I'll thank you for watching. And until next time, bye for now.